people have to understand these people control the media, they control banking, but they control the government. And what Barry Goldwater warned back in 1979 in his book, With No Apologies, has come to pass. And the reason people aren't concerned is because the media is controlled, and that's why what you do and what the other people on alternative radio do is so vitally important. People have to understand that there is this secret cabal, but behind this are powerful spiritual forces, and that has always been their goal. I mean,
Doc,
this movement's been around for 3,000 years.
We've got a break.
World government.
We've got a break. When we come back, I want to get into the occultic nature of this, and even if you're an atheist, if you just scientifically, from a view of anthropology or psychology, study what the elite believe in, they are Satan worshipers, but they believe Satan is God, Lucifer, the devil. And they believe mass death is a sacrament to their God. We'll come back with Dr. Stan Monteith and a lot more. Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're here live. We're going to start simulcasting the last 2 hours, starting in T-minus 35 minutes, 40 seconds, at prisonplanet.tv, as we do daily in the 9 to midnight Central. Jason Burmis, the Info Warrior, comes in, does his own live show with powerful guests and news, analysis, information. All 3 hours simulcast at prisonplanet.tv. All right, Dr. Monteith, you've written The Brotherhood of Darkness. We understand they're setting up world government. They've now revealed themselves. It's out in the open. But what makes them tick? Why are they eugenicists? What do they believe in? We have the 1996 UN Biological Diversity Assessment passed as world law by the UN saying that they want to reduce population for Gaia. It's even in official government, world government documents that this is all about the occult.
Well, really, one of the big problems today is most people do not understand the Gnostic faith. But the Gnostic faith is one of the most prominent faiths in America today, and is based upon the assumption that there are two gods. There's the inferior God that the Christians worship, and the real God is Lucifer, and he's the one, of course, that will give you total freedom. I mean, he doesn't have any restrictions on you. Thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do that. No, Lucifer gives you total freedom, and not only that, he'll give you great wealth and prosperity if you, of course, give your allegiance to him. And as incredible as it may be, why there really are millions of people in America who knowingly are involved in this, and many who do not know they're involved in it, who are involved with the New Age or many of the other alternative religions out there, but they don't understand the basis of this faith is Gnosticism. Now, fortunately, you can go up on the Internet and you can begin reading up there about Gnosticism, and Google. We do have the opportunity to have information that's never been readily available before. If you go to for instance, the Lucis Trust website, and I suggest you go to a search engine and Google in Lucis Trust and then Lucifer, and you'll go to their website, and they'll tell you that, yes, they did come out of an organization known as the Lucifer Publishing House, and then they have a link to an article that somebody had written about Lucifer. And, of course, you go there, and they tell you that Lucifer really is a pretty good guy. He just got a bad rap, but he came to Earth to suffer for humanity, and what we've really got to do is give our allegiance to him, because he is the God that will give you so much. And the trouble is, Alex, that there are many people who actually, come into allegiance with Lucifer, and they have prospered. Some of the richest people in America have given themselves to the dark side, and they've amassed tremendous wealth and power and fame. There's an organization, it's in Colorado, it's called La Baca Grande, and we have an article from West Magazine that tells how, Henry Kissinger used to go to La Baca Grande, which is where the occultists and the witch doctors and the shamans and the people involved with all of the occult and the dark arts meet on a regular basis. And according to the article in West Magazine, Henry Kissinger and Robert McNamara would go there frequently. And, of course, you have to remember Robert McNamara was the man who sent our boys. He was Secretary of Defense under the Kennedy. And
that's Maurice Strong there. And there's also, of course, Tony Blair and his wife, mainstream news, doing weird rituals. They're obsessed with this.
Right? But this is what people find it so difficult to believe. But the common denominator behind all of these is these powerful spiritual forces, these people who've given themselves to the dark side. And you will find people within the Rockefeller family, for instance, Lawrence Rockefeller, actually financed the writings of Barbara Mark Hubbard, who's one of the leading New Agers and occultists in the United States, who's actually talked and written about the necessity of killing a quarter of the world's population. And as she says in the original manuscript of her book, The Revelation, the Book of New Creation, there's this quarter of the world population that won't evolve to a higher level of consciousness. They're going to have to be removed. And that is not your job, my dear. That is ours, because we are the riders of the pale horse.
And that was then financed by the Pentagon and taught to special forces, and they call it the Earth First Battalion. That's kind of where the name Earth First for the environmental group came from. But then publicly they tell folks, oh, we're atheists, we're agnostics, you're a kook if you believe in spirituality. But then when you actually read their real writings and what they really push, they're totally into the occult.
Absolutely. Stephen Rockefeller, Nelson Rockefeller's son, was one of the architects of the Earth Charter. And you ought to read that. I mean, it's basically the Mein Kampf for what's going on today. I mean, you mentioned the Global Biodiversity Assessment. It's there. Agenda 21 is there. The Earth Charter is there, written by Stephen Rockefeller. It tells us how we're going to have to redistribute the wealth of this country. Equitable distribution of wealth between nations. That's why they're shipping our manufacturing, our wealth overseas.
Got a break. We are back live. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget the free podcast. Over 130,000 people a day downloading it for free. Serves out every day at the end of the show at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And growing by several thousand new people getting the podcast every week. Millions listening to the live transmission on the AM and FM dial. The internet streams at Infowars.com and Global Shortwave. WWCR, not to mention all the great folks that upload the audio with video of this show to YouTube, Google, everywhere else. Millions of views every week together in the aggregate. This is exciting. We are taking on the New World Order. We're going to go back to Dr. Stan Monteith here in just a moment. I want to encourage listeners of this worldwide broadcast to not screw around. You don't have to buy the Obama deception. There is a good, clean upload with close to 600,000 views of hundreds of uploads of it. It's in the tens of millions now total that we've counted. But there's one good, clean upload that we've been promoting at Infowars.com. That's a pretty good free copy from a YouTube channel called Change the Channel. He's got a director's account, so it's all in one piece, 112 minutes. Please, we made the film. We busted our hind ends to expose the left-right paradigm, how Obama is meant to bring in the New World Order. It is such an important film. It exposes the controlled right and the controlled left. Please, you can just Google the Obama deception, and it's the second link, the cruddy Google version of it, because it has more views, is above it, but Change the Channel YouTube version is below it. Or if you want to financially support us and for your library, have the very best copy available, get the super high-quality DVD with a nice color cover and everything at Infowars.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. That's 888-253-3139. We are going to go right back to Dr. Stan Monteith in just one moment. First, I want to tell you about one of the sponsors that makes this radio show possible. It's Home Gain. Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home, finding a realtor, and getting any real estate questions answered. HomeGain.com. Check it out and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address, and you will get an instant free estimate of your home value online. It is a great way to be able to monitor the value of your home. And again, it's absolutely free. There are tons of tools to help you. For instance, if you want to remodel your home, go to HomeGain.com. Use their home sales maximizer to help you determine which home improvements can most increase your home values before you put it up on the market. For 10 years, these folks have been helping home sellers and buyers. Visit their link at Infowars.com or just go to HomeGain.com. Going back to Dr. Stan Monteith, let's continue with this occultic empire. You talked about their manifestos, micromanaging, environmental brigades, one-child policies, the carbon footprint of children, the little carbon monsters, as the mainstream news is saying. What is their true manifesto? What will the world look like if they succeed, Dr. Monteith?
Well, if they succeed, they're going to kill off at least 90% of the world's population. And that really doesn't make sense logically, but then we're not dealing with logical people. They have an intense hatred of humanity. But they're not going to tell you that. But that's really what the plan is. And you can go to the great monument there at Elberton, Georgia. There, the Georgia Guidestones were put up by some secret group. Nobody really knows who it is, although we always suspected it was the Rosicrucians. But there they talk about, maintaining the world population at 500 million.